Hi lovely people, welcome to Elegant Fashion Tutorial. My name is Charles Peace. In today's video we'll be making a lovely dress. It will be a cowl neck dress. You can decide to make it a top, a dress, anyhow you want it, but in this video we'll be making a cowl neck dress. There are so many ways to do it. I'm going to show you how simple and easy you can achieve that. So sit back and watch till the end. The first step now is to draft the basic body pattern for the dress. It will be a long dress, but I will draft it with this paper first before I transfer it to this material. This will be the material we are using for the cowl neck dress. I fold my paper. The shoulder measurement is 16 inches. 16 divided into 2 will give us 8. Then I will add ½ inch. My armhole will be 8.5 inches. This 8.5 inches. Then I'll still measure the 8.5. The next measurement will be the bust point. My bust point is 11.5 inches. This is 11.5 inches here. Now from here I'll measure. My bust measurement is 38 inches divided into 4 will give us 9.5 inches. This 9.5 inches. Then I'll add 2 inches allowance to it. To get my waist measurement, I will mark 17 inches here. The waist measurement is 33 divided into 4 will give us 8.2 inches. This 8.2. Then I'll add 2 inches to it. Now to get my hips, I measure 8.5. Or you can measure 9 inches depending on the height of the person. And let's measure 9 inches. That is from the waistline to the hips. 9 inches. Now my hip measurement is 39 divided into 4 will give me 9.8 inches. Is 9.8 inches. Then I'll add 2 inches allowance to it. Now I'll take it down to this length. I will join the lines together or connect it together. Now we are done with this. To curve the armhole, I will measure 2 inches here from this point here, I'll mark 2 inches here. Then I'll curve it. But remember, the front side should be inner. The front armhole should come inside a bit. So now I will mark 1/2 inch. I will curve it in by 1/2 inch. I curved it in by 1/2 inch because this is the front piece. So if it's the back piece, it's supposed to be normal, but because of the bust, so the front part should come in by 1/2 inch. Now let's go to the neck. I'll be using 3.5 by 4 inches. The next thing here is to put the shoulder slant. I will measure 1 inch down. Then connect it to this point where the 3.5 started. Now I will cut it out. Now this is my basic body pattern for this. So now I will use this to get the cowl neck. We have 2 methods of doing this. First method is slash and spread method, and this is a second method. I prefer this because it's not common, but you will like the outcome. Now I'll use this to cut the back first, but the back, the neckline will be different. I use 4 inches, that's the depth of the neck. I use 4 inches here, but the back I will be using maybe 2 inches because it will be higher. I want to cut the back piece first. The neckline I'll be using 2 inches. This is 2 inches, then I'll curve it to this. This is the back piece, so I'm using 2 inches by 3.5. Then I curve it. This is 2 inches by 3.5. Now this side, because I want it to be an A line, it will not be too fitted and it will not be too loose. So now from the waistline here, I will take it to this point here. This is the waistline. Then the hip line, I'll add extra 2 inches here. Then I will join this point to this point to make it a shape. So this is the waistline, so I will take it to this point. Then I will take it down. So now we'll be cutting it from. Remember, I removed ½ inch here. So I'll put back the ½ inch that I removed from the front piece, because this place I'm cutting is the back piece, so I have to put it back to make sure the back side is complete. This point, this is the back piece. Now we want to cut the front piece, which is the main side where the cowl neck is. So now the first step is to measure out 11 inches. I will mark 11 inches here. This is 11 inches. This will be the side that will be printed, that will be full at the front. So now, from this point, the next thing I will do, I will take my basic pattern, I'll place my armhole here and trace it out. I will mark the points, this point here, this is the point, and this is the point. These 2 points, then I will trace it out with my biro. Then I will as well trace this west side, this curve here. Then I've already traced it. The next thing I will do now is to shift it. You have to place your hand at this shoulder side to make sure that it didn't go out from the line, those traced lines. So I will shift it front. You can see how it is. From this waistline, then I will trace it again to reach this point here. I will trace it to make sure I get the full curve. The shift we are making here will depend how full the cowl neck will be. If you want it to be slight, you can just give it a slight shift. But I want my own to be full, so that I'll be printing maybe three or four steps that will make it more beautiful. So now I've shifted the first one. Remember, my hand is still placing on the waistline here. Then I will trace it to reach to this edge. I'll trace to get the full curve of the side, the two side curve, to make sure I get the full. So I will trace it now. I've traced it. Then I will shift it to this point, because remember we are still working with this point here. So I will mark this point, and as well it has reached to this side. So I've marked this point now. Okay, let's repeat what we did. We measured 11 inches here up, then we traced the armhole here, the point here, and the point here. Then we traced out the armhole line. Then I shift it this way and mark this point here. Then I measure the shape. Now it's going down here, the shape here. This is the shape. So now the next thing we'll do now, this point, because it goes up here, remember we still have allowance here. So now I'll measure out this place. This is 11 inches. So I'll measure 11 inches as well up. Then I'll connect these two lines. Okay, this is the lines. This is the lines. This is the armhole line. Why this is the shape, the two side shape. This is it here. Then I'll cut out. Then at this down part, I'll place my back fabric to make sure that I get the length of the back side. So that I'll make sure that everything is equal. Okay, we are done with the front and back piece. The next thing we'll be cutting will be the sleeve. Now the sleeve, this is the sleeve I want to cut. I fold it, I want to cut both of them together. So I fold it, the first one, then I folded the second one, making it 4. Now, this is 13.5 inches. My round sleeve, the upper side is 14 inches, 14 by 11. So now, this is 14 inches. Yeah, because I'm not using any lining on it, so I just added 1 inch to it. Then the downside is 11. 11 divided by 2 give us 5.5. Then I added as well 1 inch to it. Now join it to this place. Then I remove 2.5 here. I measure. This is the standard way of drafting out a sleeve. You measure 4 inches here At these 4 inches, I remove 1 inch. Then I'll join this point, and this point. So just curve it. Now this is the sleeve. We are not done yet, so I want us to finish the sleeve. Now the next thing we'll be doing is the main cowl neck. We are done with the cutting. Now we are going into sewing proper, the main work. The first thing to sew is the neck. Now I want to cut the facing for the back. So you place your fabric on fold. Make sure the neck, everything is together. Then remember this place is on fold as well. This side should be on fold as well. So I'll cut. Now this is my facing. Now I will use an interfacing first, the lighter one, to iron it with this. Then I'll go to my sewing machine and sew the neck. Then I'll turn it. This is the back neckline, and this is the interfacing. We are done with the back side. The next thing now is the front side, which is the main place we are concentrating. This is the place that have the cowl neck. Now the first thing we'll do here is to fold the fabric 2 inches. I folded it 2 inches. I folded it in and used pin to hold it. Now remember, this is the armhole, so anything we are planting here, we measured 4 inches. The neck now is 4 inches. While this place now, I will plant it on this to make sure I reduce it to this 4 inch, because I want it to have a plant form. There are other type of cowl neck that doesn't have planting at the shoulder, like the slash and spread method. That one doesn't have allowance at the shoulder, but this one has allowances at the shoulder. So what I will do here now, this place, let me check the inches we have, because it's 11 inches and I folded 2 inches in it, so it will be 9 inches will be left here. Yes, this is, you can see it is 9 inches that is left. So this 9 inches will convert it to be 4 inches. That means we'll be planting it either 2 or either 3 or 4 to make sure that while we are planting it, that this armhole will rhyme together. Immediately it rhymes together, that means we are done and it's perfect. So now let's start. And we'll be planting the 2 neck together. The first thing I will do, I will take this side first. Here, I will first plant it, but the neck, remember, is not having any zip. It's not having any zipper or button at the back. So the neck now would depend. It depends on how you want it. If you want it to be lower, maybe you use something like a camisole to wear it inside, it's okay. But if you don't want, if you want it to be up, you can shift it depending on how you want it to be. But anything you are doing, you make sure that when you are putting it on, it will not be difficult. It will be very comfortable. So now I will shift it up because I don't want it to be low. I want it to be high a bit. So I will shift it by 3 inches up. This is 3 inches. So I pin this one. I pin it here. Now to the second neck, our swell minus 3 inches. You see the wideness of the neck. It's not too high, it's not too low. I will as well pin this side. We are done with the first. This is the first step. Now the second step, I bring it again. I fold it in again. I pin. The same thing to the second one. I fold it again. And I pin. We are done with the first and second. Now the third point here. We are still looking at the armhole to make sure everything is working together. I guess this should be the last plinth. As I'm plinting it, you can see the neckline now here is in order. So I'll pin it here. Then I'll come to this side as well. Check the neckline. This is the armhole. You can see everything is in order. So now I'll pin the last one as well. And this is remember this is the point that we mark at the starting point when we are cutting it. So this point should match exactly at the point of the shoulder. You can see it's matched together. Tell us that we are in order. I will pin it up. Yeah, can see how it looks like. You can see how beautiful it is. See how beautiful it is here. So what I will do now, because this is the front side, so I will carefully detach it from the back and sew it up. I will carefully, as I remove it, I'll pin it to make sure that, remember, we are not sewing through the front side. When you are sewing, you will turn it over. So I will go to my sewing machine now and make sure I match the planes. After matching it, then I can turn it over at the wrong side and sew together. So I will first of all, now, because I've gotten what I want, I'll carefully detach it and place them together. I've detached it from the back side. It's now on its own. To enable me to sew it, or I can just place it and now put the back piece in order to sew, because we cannot sew it on top of the back one direct. Now you can see how it is. I've removed it from the back. I will now turn this over for the right side to face each other. I will then place it. Remember, everything we are doing with measurements. So this is the 3 inches up here. And this is another 3 inches up here. I'm pinning it through. Now this is the outcome. You can see how I planted it 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. See how beautiful it is. So you can see we are done with the cowl neck. So the next thing to do is to join the 2 sides together. You fix the sleeve and you turn the downside. We are done with the dress. So this is how to make a cowl neck. Very simple and easy. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Click on the bell icon to be notified anytime I publish another video. Bye until I see you in my next video.